And so he created a deed and recorded it, because for the 5-year adverse possession to trigger,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have some kind of deed or recorded instrument, right? So it could
Mm-hmm.
be a completely void deed, it could be completely fraudulent, but you go record that. And then he just moved in. And then
Mm-hmm.
he paid the taxes, and he, kept the water bill on, kept the electric on, all this stuff. So after he had met the 5 years, before he had hit the 5 years, if the owners were paying attention, they could have sent him like a 30-day notice and then evicted him as a squatter.
Mm-hmm.
But because they weren't paying attention, after the 5th year, he sued them and took their house.
Right, right. Yeah. And so one thing that I always like, if anybody's trying to read my mind as far as like what's going through my head when I hear these sorts of stories, what I'm always trying to do is I'm saying like, okay, well, how could a reasonable person get around it? Is there some sort of ethics behind it that is based on like pragmatics, like is it actually practical to does it like is it's probably not something that's like a malevolent or greed based thing on the case of the government, who's saying it's like, okay, well, we have to have the law the way it is, because otherwise like it's just too much of a mess to keep track of. And it does definitely make sense to have it where like whoever's actually paying the taxes, should end up having more rights. Of course, one thing that I've always, I think it smacks in a lot of people's faces is the whole concept that ignorance of the law is not a valid
Defense.
defense. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you're basically supposed to know these things,
Mm-hmm.
like as if you could do it from meditation alone. And I'm not aware of any law or legal standard that actually fits that criteria. You're just like, oh, I should check with the deeds
I,
office.
I think that in the, like, when we were kids and we had to look things up in a library and an encyclopedia, I do feel like ignorance of the law could have been a defense.
Mhm.
But in today's world, where you can just go on YouTube and find a lawyer like me that has a YouTube channel and has a video about adverse possession,
Mhm.
you really don't have an excuse. Like, it really is no excuse. And also, you can always just hire a lawyer.
Mhm.
And I know people don't want to because they cost money, but property costs money too, right? So like,
Right.